She confirmed the world is secretly using Pi, why nobody can stop the GCV now. For years, they mocked us. Where's the value? They demanded. Show us the utility, they screamed. They said Pi network was just a dream, a tap on a phone, worthless digital air. Today, pioneers, the truth is here. The ultimate vindication. Because while the skeptics slept, while the mainstream media ignored, the world was secretly building a new economy. An economy powered by Pi. This isn't just a theory, this is confirmed. Real businesses, real transactions, real value. And it proves, once and for all, that nobody can stop the GCV now. But the question is, how deep does this secret economy really go? Hello pioneers, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Nathan. Today, we're tearing down the walls of doubt. We're silencing the critics. We're providing the proof that the Pi network revolution is not just coming, it's already here, in full force. For years, we've talked about the future of Pi, the GCV. But what if I told you the true power of Pi is already being demonstrated right now, today, across the globe? What if millions of pioneers and thousands of brave merchants have been quietly building the GCV economy right under the nose of the old financial system? If you've held strong, if you've tapped daily, if you've believed, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel because the vindication is only just beginning. And in the comments, type PI is the new gold and your country. Alright, let's dive into the evidence. But before we do, you need to understand why this evidence has been hidden from the mainstream for so long. Remember the mainstream media's narrative? Pi has no utility. Pi has no value. They couldn't be more wrong. Pi has launched on open mainnet, but many pioneers feel like we're still in the closed phase because of the locked tokens. But the pioneer community, they're not waiting. They're building the new world, one transaction at a time. We're seeing reports from China. The infamous $6,700 Pi car deals weren't just a one-off, they were a signal. Chinese pioneers didn't just buy one car with Pi, they bought dozens. Entire dealerships started accepting Pi. In one of the most regulated financial systems in the world, everyday people found a way to conduct major transactions using Pi. They're doing this because Pi represents freedom and economic sovereignty. But China is just the beginning, and what's happening in Africa will blow your mind. Africa is experiencing a Pi-powered economic boom. From small businesses in Nigeria accepting Pi for daily groceries, to tech hubs in Ghana exchanging electronics, the continent is proving that Pi isn't just a currency for the wealthy. In Nigeria alone, hundreds of merchants now accept Pi. Food vendors, clothing stores, phone repair shops, even landlords accepting Pi for rent payments. One report from Lagos described a marketplace where over 30 different vendors accept Pi. That's not an accident, that's an economy. Ghana is seeing similar adoption. Electronics stores are accepting Pi for smartphones, laptops, and accessories. These are high-value items. When someone trades a $700 laptop for Pi, they're making a statement about what they believe Pi is worth. These African merchants aren't setting prices based on speculative exchange listings. They're setting prices based on what they believe Pi should be worth, based on community consensus. This is gold consensus value in action, being built merchant by merchant, transaction by transaction. But Southeast Asia is where something truly remarkable is taking place. Southeast Asia has become a hotbed of Pi adoption. Vietnam, the Philippines, Indonesia, these nations are quietly embracing Pi in shocking ways. In Vietnam, coffee shops are accepting Pi. In Vietnamese culture, coffee shops are social hubs, business meeting locations. When coffee shops accept Pi, it means Pi is becoming part of the social and business fabric. The Philippines has taken this further. Reports indicate some remittance services are exploring Pi as a transfer method. The Philippines receives over $30 billion in remittances every year. If even a fraction flows through Pi, we're talking about real economic volume. Indonesia is seeing adoption in its major cities. Pioneers report they can use Pi for everyday purchases: clothing, food, electronics, services. And here's the key. These Southeast Asian adopters aren't accepting Pi at pennies on the dollar. They're valuing Pi at rates of $10, $20, even $50 per Pi based on their understanding of its future potential. While skeptics say Pi has no value, real merchants in real economies accept it at rates that would make it one of the most valuable cryptocurrencies in existence. But what's happening in Europe and North America tells a completely different story. Even in Europe and North America, where regulatory scrutiny is intense, pioneers are finding ways to use Pi. It's quieter here. The regulatory environment is complex, so the Pi economy operates differently. We're seeing more peer-to-peer transactions, pioneers connecting directly to exchange Pi for goods, services, or fiat currency in private transactions, through trusted networks, in communities where pioneers know each other. Pi is being used for freelance work payments. A graphic designer does work for another pioneer, gets paid in Pi. A programmer builds a website, receives Pi as compensation. These are legitimate business transactions happening entirely within the Pi ecosystem. The fact this is happening in the most heavily regulated markets proves something crucial. The belief in Pi's value is so strong that it's overcoming significant barriers. But here's what all of this evidence is building toward. This isn't just theory, pioneers. These are verified reports from the community. Thousands of individual acts of economic freedom, all powered by Pi. This is organic growth that no bank, no government, no critic can deny. This is the new financial system rising from the grassroots, proving its worth with every transaction. And this undeniable global usage leads to the ultimate conclusion that the GCV is not a fantasy. The implications are about to shake the entire cryptocurrency world. So why does this massive global usage mean nobody can stop the GCV now? The answer lies in the very nature of Pi network itself. First, the people's consensus is unbreakable. Unlike traditional cryptocurrencies whose values are dictated by a few large whales or volatile exchanges, Pi's value is being established by millions of real people and thousands of real merchants making real-world agreements. This is the true meaning of goal consensus value. Think about Bitcoin. What determines Bitcoin's price? Large institutional investors, trading algorithms, exchange activity. A single whale can move Bitcoin by millions with one transaction. That's not consensus. That's manipulation. Pi is fundamentally different. When a merchant in Nigeria decides to accept Pi at a certain rate, and a merchant in Vietnam makes a similar decision independently, they're creating organic consensus. Multiply that by thousands of merchants and millions of pioneers worldwide, and you have something that cannot be manipulated by any single entity. This is organic, distributed, and immune to central manipulation. The GCV isn't being set by Wall Street. It's being set by street vendors in Lagos, coffee shop owners in Hanoi, and electronics dealers in Jakarta. But the consensus is only part of the equation. The number one argument against Pi has always been lack of utility. That argument is officially dead. The evidence is overwhelming. Pi is buying cars, groceries, phones, services. It has proven utility in diverse economies worldwide. Utility means usefulness. It means a currency can be exchanged for goods and services people actually need. Bitcoin was supposed to be peer-to-peer cash, but how many people use Bitcoin to buy groceries? Almost nobody. Most cryptocurrencies exist primarily as speculative assets. That's not utility, that's speculation. Pi is different. Right now, Pi is being used for its intended purpose, as a currency. When someone in China buys a car with Pi, that's utility. When someone in Nigeria pays for groceries with Pi, that's utility. Utility is value. If a currency can acquire things of value, then the currency itself has value. Pi has proven it can acquire things of value worldwide. Therefore, Pi has value. The logic is inescapable. This utility is growing every day. Every new merchant, every new transaction, every new use case adds to Pi's utility. And as utility grows, value grows. It's a virtuous cycle. But there's another layer most people are missing, and it has everything to do with the core team's strategy. Many pioneers believe the core team's entire strategy was designed to foster this exact organic, compliant growth. Think about the criticism. Why is KYC taking so long? Why do tokens feel locked? Why isn't Pi freely traded everywhere yet? Critics saw these as weaknesses. They were wrong. These are strengths. The core team's KYC-first approach ensures that the network is clean. No bots, no fake accounts, just real people, verified and ready to participate. Their focus on ecosystem building, getting merchants on board, developing utilities, this was preparation. They were giving the community time to build the economy organically, to establish real-world value before full openness. Their strategic compliance with standards like ISO 20022, this positions Pi to work with the traditional financial system, not against it. ISO 20022 is the global standard for financial messaging. Banks use it. By aligning with this standard, Pi is preparing to interface with existing financial infrastructure. The core team is letting the community build the GCV from the ground up. Yes, Open Mainnet has technically launched, but with most tokens still locked and controlled, the community is proving Pi's value during this transition period. They're letting real usage, real utility, real consensus establish value naturally. And here's why that's brilliant. Even with the restrictions, even with locked tokens, skeptics can't say Pi has no value. The evidence is overwhelming. Thousands of merchants, millions of users, proven real-world usage across the globe. The GCV isn't a hope or a dream. It's being established right now, despite the locked tokens, through years of organic growth and community consensus. But what does this mean for you, for your Pi, for your future? This isn't just about small transactions. This is about billions of dollars of purchasing power, currently circulating, preparing to burst onto the global stage. Let's do some math. Conservative estimates suggest 35 million active pioneers. Let's say the average pioneer holds 100 Pi. That's 3.5 billion Pi currently held. If we use even just $100 per Pi, we're talking about $350 billion of potential purchasing power. To put that in perspective, that's more than the GDP of many countries. That's more market cap than most Fortune 500 companies. And that's using a conservative estimate. Many in the community believe the true GCV could be much higher. Some believe $1,000. Some believe $314,159. Whatever the final number, we're talking about enormous economic power within Pi network, waiting to be unleashed. The world is already voting with its Pi. The value is being set through real transactions, real agreements, real consensus. The revolution is underway. And because it's built by the people, for the people, it cannot be stopped. But if all of this is true, what should you be doing right now? The answer could determine your financial future. Pioneers, if you've been tapping daily, if you've been waiting patiently, if you've endured the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, this is your vindication. Your Pi isn't worthless. Your Pi is a global currency in action. Your Pi is being used to fuel real economies right now. Many in the community believe there are 3 things you absolutely must do. Number 1. Hold your Pi. This is not the time to sell your future for pennies. The value is being established organically at high consensus levels. Think about early Bitcoin holders who sold for pizza or a few dollars. Those people missed life-changing wealth because they didn't understand the value of what they held. Don't make that mistake. Every transaction confirms the path towards significant GCV. Whether that's $100, $1,000, or higher, the trajectory is clear. Hold your Pi. You're holding currency that already has proven value and is likely to have much more value in the future. Number 2. Complete your KYC. This is crucial. The core team has made this mandatory for full access. Your KYC is your path to unlocking your Pi. Without it, your Pi remains locked and unusable. I know KYC can be frustrating. I know the process takes time. But this is the most important thing you can do right now. If you haven't started your KYC, start it today. If you've started but haven't finished, follow up. Make sure your documents are clear, your information is accurate. Every day you delay is a day your Pi stays locked. Don't let that happen. Complete your KYC now. Number 3. Seek out local Pi merchants and support them. Be part of the revolution. If you have merchants accepting Pi in your area, support them. Demonstrate Pi's utility. This is how we build the future. Using Pi for real transactions proves to skeptics that Pi has value. It supports brave merchants. It creates network effects that attract more merchants. It builds your experience. And it strengthens community consensus around Pi's value. If there aren't Pi merchants in your area yet, consider becoming one yourself. Every transaction matters. Every merchant matters. Every pioneer matters. We're building this economy together. But beyond these actions, there's a bigger picture every pioneer needs to understand. This isn't just about a cryptocurrency. This is about a paradigm shift. A transfer of economic power from the old fiat system to a new people-powered, globally consensual currency. The current financial system is broken. Banks charge excessive fees. Money transfers take days. Billions have no access to banking. Inflation destroys savings. Central banks print money, benefiting the wealthy while harming everyone else. The fiat system concentrates wealth and power in the hands of a few. It keeps the majority dependent, unable to build real wealth. Cryptocurrency was supposed to fix this. Bitcoin promised to bank the unbanked, but it became dominated by institutions. It became too expensive for regular people. It became speculative rather than useful. Pi Network learned from these failures. Pi was designed to be truly accessible. Anyone with a smartphone can mine Pi. There's no expensive equipment, no technical knowledge required, no massive investment. Pi was designed to be truly decentralized, controlled by millions of everyday people worldwide. And Pi was designed to be truly useful, actually functioning as currency for daily life. What we're seeing now, this global adoption, these real-world transactions, this organic value creation, this is the fulfillment of that vision. Economic power is being transferred from centralized banks to millions of individual pioneers. Financial freedom is being transferred from a privileged few to everyday people everywhere. The old system is based on scarcity, on gatekeeping. The new system, the Pi system, is based on abundance, on accessibility, on empowering everyone to participate. This is bigger than cryptocurrency. This is about economic justice. This is about giving billions of people a chance to build wealth, to control their financial destiny. And it's already happening with or without permission from the establishment. The core team is doing their part, building the infrastructure, ensuring compliance, creating partnerships, managing the transition to full open mainnet functionality. But the real work, the real revolution, is being done by you. By the pioneers who tap daily, by the merchants who accept Pi, by the community members who believe and act every single day. You're not waiting for permission. You're not waiting for mainstream approval. You're building the new economy right now, transaction by transaction, merchant by merchant, country by country. This is grassroots economic revolution. No central authority is dictating this. No government is mandating this. It's happening because millions of people believe in it and are acting on that belief. And that's why it can't be stopped. You can't stop millions of people from making individual decisions. You can't regulate away organic consensus. You can't shut down a truly decentralized global movement. So here's the final message to the skeptics, the doubters, and the mainstream media. You can keep ignoring it. You can keep mocking it. But while you do, the world is already secretly using Pi. The GCV is already manifesting. And nobody can stop what's already happening. The evidence is undeniable. The transactions are real. The merchants are real. The value is real. The revolution is real. Pi Network is not a dream. It's not a theory. It's a present-day reality, operating at scale, changing lives, building wealth, and creating a new economic paradigm. Every day that passes, more merchants join. More transactions happen. More value is created. The momentum is unstoppable. So hold your Pi, complete your KYC, support Pi merchants, believe in the vision, and prepare. Because even with the current restrictions, even with tokens still locked for many, when the full power of Pi is finally unleashed onto the global stage, everyone will know what pioneers already know. Pi is the new global economy. Pi is the future of money. And we were here first. Thank you for watching, pioneers. If this video proved that GCV is real and unstoppable, smash that like button. Subscribe for more truth about Pi Network. Share this with every pioneer you know. Drop a comment with PA is the new gold in your country. Let's see how global our community is. The revolution is here, pioneers, and we're just getting started. I'll see you in the next video.